just landed, immediately chaotic. What really happened to Jungkook and Jimin at the US airport that made fans cry just minutes after setting foot in Los Angeles International Airport, LAX? BTS's Jungkook and Jimin immediately faced an unexpected situation that triggered global uproar. What exactly happened in the first moments of their arrival? Why did this moment turn into an emotional tragedy for fans around the world? The two BTS members arrived in the United States in the second week of July 2025 for personal and professional agendas that were initially scheduled to be calm. However, instead of simply being greeted by a loyal fan base and media coverage as usual, they were instead confronted with chaotic airport security conditions that caused deep psychological trauma. Reports from South Korean music journalists who were part of the media group mentioned that upon arriving at the International Arrival Terminal, Jungkook and Jimin appeared confused and surprised by the crowd of people who had been waiting in strategic positions, as if they knew exactly when they would arrive. A big question then arises. How could the flight schedules of these two global superstars be leaked ahead of time? The situation at the airport became even more chaotic when a number of LAX security officers were reported to have blocked their personal bodyguard crew. This action sparked a heated debate in Korean and international media. Was this purely a procedural error or a planned sabotage targeting the big name of BTS? According to an investigative report by Dispatch, the leak of this flight schedule allegedly came from parties outside the agency, who disseminated it without official permission. This raises speculation of a systemic leak that puts the safety of the artists at a vulnerable point. This is not the first time sensitive artist data has been leaked, but HYB's slow reaction makes the public wonder if they are really serious about protecting their artists, wrote one ex-user followed by millions of accounts. On the other hand, a brief statement from LAX airport officials asserting that security procedures had been carried out according to protocol actually sparked a wave of criticism. The statement was considered to have failed to answer why there was physical action blocking BTS's personal security crew who had special permits. This incident caused emotional trauma to Jimin, who in a viral video appeared to bow his head while clutching Jungkook's arm to calm himself. Western media such as TMZ and Billboard also covered it from different angles. TMZ reported that one of Jungkook's crew was involved in an altercation with an airport officer for trying to cover the cameras of paparazzi waiting in a restricted area. However, Korean journalists who were at the location denied the claim and asserted that the paparazzi were already in the restricted zone before the two arrived. Wild speculations then emerged, ranging from allegations of sabotage by parties with business interests in the global music industry to conspiracy theories that the data leak was deliberately designed to bring down BTS's image. Although there is no concrete evidence, the high tension of global competition in the entertainment industry reinforces this assumption. What is most heartbreaking for fans is Jimin's facial expression in the video. Many fans cried when they saw Jimin bowing his head with a look of fear, while Jungkook, known for being calm, appeared to protect his partner while staring sharply at the crowd. This moment became a painful reminder that global popularity has psychological consequences that often escape public attention. Shortly after the incident, Jungkook wrote a short message via Weaver: "We are fine, but there are things that need to be changed." This sentence sparked speculation that he was alluding to a security system that was deemed to have failed to protect them. Meanwhile, Jimin has not made an official statement. An internal source at HYB mentioned that he chose to rest completely at their temporary residence in Beverly Hills and refused outside activities for several days after the incident. HYB has not held a press conference to date, but stated that it is conducting an internal investigation with airport authorities and U.S. federal security. They are reviewing the logistics system, internal communication protocols, to the coordination patterns of artist security abroad to prevent similar incidents from happening again. However, many parties consider this step too late, considering that incidents of BTS flight schedule leaks have occurred repeatedly. This incident opens up a major discussion about the standards of protection for Asian artists in the global market. Professor Lee Jian from the Faculty of Media and Communication at Korea University said, "There is a double standard in the protection of artists. In Korea, the protocols are very strict, but abroad the system is lax and depends on local policies that often do not accommodate Asian celebrities." This statement sparked a lengthy debate on social media, given that Western artists with similar popularity are usually facilitated with special lanes and maximum security. Not only did it trigger a debate about artist protection, this incident also shook HYB's financial sector. The company's shares reportedly fell up to 8% the day after the viral video circulated widely. Investors assess that this kind of reputation crisis has the potential to create internal instability and affect market valuations. Now, fans around the world are waiting for two things: a transparent official statement from HYB and concrete actions to ensure the safety and mental health of their artists. This incident is not just an ordinary travel record, but a security tragedy that reveals a major gap in the global artist management system. Will Jungkook and Jimin be able to recover from the emotional pressure they experienced? Or will this incident be the beginning of a major reform in the protection of K-pop artists on the international stage? The answer is not yet available. But one thing is for sure: their arrival in the US this time has left a trail of crisis that awakens the world's awareness that behind the glittering spotlight of the camera, there are two fragile human hearts demanding real protection, not just mere praise. However, the fundamental question that now arises in the midst of the hustle and bustle of reporting is, did everything we see and read about the Jungkook and Jimin incident at the US airport really happen as reported? Or is there another scenario behind it? Imagine, in a matter of seconds, hundreds of social media accounts from TikTok, Twitter, to YouTube Shorts immediately rolled out similar videos with dramatic titles. Many wrote, "Jungkook is furious at the airport. Jimin is crying in fear," without including chronological details or official statements. Doesn't this invite suspicion? Who exactly was the first party to disseminate the information? Is the source credible or just a fan-base account that wants to add views and followers? Until today, there has been no official statement that explains the incident clearly. HYB only mentioned that they are reviewing the security system, while LAX Airport asserted that the protocol has been running according to standards. However, how is it possible that both parties feel there is no problem when hundreds of thousands of fans consider the incident very traumatic? This is where it is important for us to ask, is the media exaggerating this event to create a new sensation? Let's reflect for a moment. If it is true that paparazzi were waiting in a restricted zone, couldn't the airport easily prosecute them legally? Why didn't that happen? Or is there a possibility that the presence of paparazzi there is part of an exclusive deal with certain parties to produce dramatic footage and cause public uproar? Are we really sure that the viral videos were taken without the knowledge of the agency or airport management? This question sounds provocative. However, in an era of information overload like today, don't we need to question the narratives that are constantly crammed into our screens every day? If this news is indeed true, of course, we must criticize the negligence of the airport security system and the artist agency in question. However, if it turns out that this is just part of a media strategy to boost BTS's relevance in the US market, will we still interpret it in the same way? Fans are often swept away by emotional currents when they hear their idols experience terrible incidents. However, have we ever asked ourselves, what percentage of the content circulating is really based on in-depth journalistic investigation and not just a narrative for clickbait? How many media outlets really present a neutral point of view without traffic or rating interests? Give your opinion. Because the future of our information quality is not only determined by the media, but also by your critical attitude as a reader.